Hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. In today's class, we are going to discuss the Hindu analysis of today, that is 17th May, Saturday. I hope you are aware that 3 p.m. every day we are having the Hindu analysis, which is generally taken by Govind sir, but on Saturday I take the class. I hope you are aware. So am I audible, visible? Is my voice reaching? Okay, so let us begin without wasting our time. Let us begin with the class. I think I've checked I'm audible and visible. Okay, so let us begin with today's class. And in the first page, there was an article talking about Rajnath Singh. Mr. Rajnath Singh is the Defense Minister of India, and he has recently said that Pakistan will use IMF money to fund terror. So we will be talking about this because, of course, here IMF becomes very, very, very important. And when the Operation Sindoor was happening, during that time, IMF approved $1 billion to Pakistan. And that is why it was very much in the news. Then here we'll be talking about presidential reference also, because in the last 1 or 2 days, we have seen this news regarding presidential reference. That is also we'll be discussing. Now, can anyone tell me that recently IMF has given $1 billion under which facility? There is a term used for that. What is that called? A specific term hai, which has under which IMF has given $1 billion to Pakistan. What is that term called? Nee, BOP is the crisis. Whenever there is a BOP crisis, balance of payment crisis, the IMF gives help. But what is the name of that facility under which the IMF has given help? उस term है, a specific term है, वो I want to know. Because sometimes तरह का न्यूज में आता है ना, एड नहीं, वो टर्म जो है ना उसको कहते हैं, ये मैं जाना था, EFF और RSF. EFF stands for Extended Fund Facility and RSF stands for Resilience and Sustainability Facility. तो EFF देखो, इसको कहते हैं Extended Fund Facility. ऐसे न्यूज पूछ सकते हैं कि recently Extended Fund Facility was in the news. It is related with which organization? They will give you 4 options. ठीक है? And they will give you IMF, World Economic Forum, World Bank and Asian Development Bank. और लिख देंगे extended fund facility is related with which of the following 4 organization. अब आप सोचोगे कि ये तो हमने पढ़ा ही नहीं. So this was nothing but actually this is a facility. This is an arrangement under which Pakistan had got the loan from IMF. Similarly, there is another called as Resilience and Sustainability Facility. Okay, that is what you should be knowing. Result कब तक आएगा? If there is any update, we will update in our on YouTube channel. Sir, IMF या World Bank का पैसा पेमेंट करने की जरूरत होती है. I didn't get your question, Krishi Sachdev. मैं समझा नहीं. Please ask clearly ask the question. So basically, that is IMF approves $1 billion disbursement to under EFF and RSF. तो यही पूछा जाएगा, ठीक है? ये सब टर्म इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. Because ये जो होता है जनरली जो नॉर्मल रीडर्स है उनके ध्यान से निकल जाता है ना, EFF and Resilience Sustainability Facility. Okay, so you can read. I have taken it from their official website of IMF. And today, the executive board of IMF completed the first review of Pakistan's economic reform supported by EFF arrangement and a $1 billion. है ना? ये भी पूछ सकते हैं कि SDR is related with what? So go and find out what is SDR. Special drawing rights. It is related with IMF. What does that mean? ठीक है. Yes, of course, it is a loan, Krishi Sachdeva. That is the meaning of loan. If you are asking for a loan, you have to return it back. It is not a aid. ठीक है? कर्ज लिया गया है ना, तो कर्ज जो होता है वापस करना होता है. Aid का मतलब होता है मदद करना, help करना, and that's a difference, है ना? So in addition, IMF executive board approved the authorities for an arrangement under Resilience Sustainability Facility, है ना? That is what you should know. Fine. तो अब हमको एक दो चीज बताओ. Since we are talking about IMF, things becomes very important. The first question is, which 2 institutions are called as Bretton Woods twins? World Bank and IMF, IMF and UNEP, IMF and World Economic Forum, and ICC, International Criminal Court. What is the right answer? बताओ. Yes, the right answer is World Bank and IMF. Why? Why it is called as Bretton Woods twins? there is something Bretton Woods institution. Actually, sorry, Bretton Woods conference happened in 1944. That led to the establishment of these organizations. Yes, Krishi Sudhir, right? Yes, yes, Nirali Mehta. Bretton Woods conference हुआ था, and I have made a separate video on it. Go and search this. आपको on our law interest channel, I have made on law interest channel also and MBA channel also. This class, please go and watch it. I have discussed in detail about IMF and World Bank, and it always remains in news. अगर आपने news पढ़ा होगा, if you read newspaper regularly, I am sure you must have come across World Bank and IMF multiple times. Please tell me where is the headquarters of IMF? Also, along with this question, first deputy MD of IMF. ये बताना because okay, first answer me. Otherwise, Washington DC is the headquarters where you will find Washington DC is the place where you will find the headquarters of both IMF as well as World Bank. Okay. Yes. Yes, Shreyas Reddy, Yug, Adrija, you are right. First deputy managing director of IMF. Please answer this question. इसका आंसर बताइए. I have not given option because I believe that it will become very easy. So now I want answer from your side. I'll give you a hint since you all are not answering. She's actually an Indian origin lady. Now please answer. Geeta Gopinath. Very good, Aditya. So basically इस क्लास में मैंने पूरा बताया था. I had discussed in detail Bretton Woods पर IMF and World Bank पर, but here let me show, and these are asked in the exam. So managing director is Kristalina Georgieva. Geeta Gopinath was earlier chief economist. Later, now she is actually, for the past I think 2 years, she is first deputy managing director of IMF. Please remember, this is very important, being asked in different exam. Chief economist is Pierre Oliver Gorancias. अच्छा, आपको पता है वर्ल्ड बैंक में भी ना 2-3 इंडियन हैं मेन पोजीशन पर. आई होप यू आर अवेयर. The chairman of World Bank, the CFO of World Bank, and a chief economist, all are Indian origin people. I hope you are aware. ठीक है, तो ये मैंने इसे बताया है. And whenever, please remember, whenever an Indian origin person gets an important post at international level, it becomes very important. हाँ, जैसे वर्ल्ड बैंक के चेयरमैन का नाम है मिस्टर अजय बांगा, right? Yes, निराली मेहता, you are sorry. ठीक है, then we have CFO है, उनका नाम बताओ, and chief economist is उनका नाम बताओ. दोनों both are Indian origin person. बता सकते हो? Of World Bank, Indian origin person. CFO, as far as I could remember, is Anshula Kant. है ना? एक बार चेक कर लेना. And chief economist is Indermeet Gill. है ना? हाँ, yes. So सब Indian origin के लोग हैं. ठीक है. Okay, Indian origins याद आ गया. Yes, Adrija, very good. And then Indian origins याद आ गया. I was reading a news, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. Canada has appointed, since we have seen recently new prime minister in Canada after Justin Trudeau's resignation. So this new prime minister, please tell me the name of the new prime minister, and he has appointed a foreign minister of Canada who is actually an Indian origin lady. The new prime minister is Mark Carney. Very good, Priyanshi and Krishi Sachdeva, you are right. Please tell me a foreign minister of Canada recently appointed, I think 2 or 3 days back, and she's an Indian origin lady. बता सकते हो उनका नाम? यही सब पूछते हैं एग्जाम में. Anyone? चलो ये होमवर्क है. I'm not telling you. Anita Anand, very good. Adrija, great. हाँ. Yes, Adrija, very good. हाँ. You are also right. Anita Anand. Okay, fine. So let's move on further. So we were talking about this, that Rajnath Singh has said that it will be used for terror funding. Now, terror funding se yaad aaga. Please tell me, there is an international body set up by G7. The name of the body is, let's say I'm saying XYZ, इसका नाम बताना है, which is used to fight money laundering and terror financing. What is that XYZ? Yes, FATF Paris headquartered. Yes, Priyanshi Go and Krishi Sachdeva. Very good. So उसका नाम है Financial Action Task Force, headquartered in Paris, France, formed by G7 countries. I think currently it has somewhere around 38, 39 countries. आप एक बार check कर लीजिएगा. And it has grey list and black list. I hope you all are aware. ठीक है, ये सब मैंने कई बार discussion कराया भी है. खैर, so that is what defense minister said. And at that, the loan that has been given to Pakistan will be used for indirectly or directly to fund terrorism. So he was basically there in Bhuj Air Force Station. Bhuj is a place in Gujarat where we had seen, I think, in 2001 earthquake also, 2001, 2002 के आसपास. So this is actually on the western coast, of course, western region, of course, in Gujarat, and where he actually met the military personnel because Bhuj में Air Force है, Air Force base है, and here actually he talked about this, है ना? हाँ, ब्लैक लिस्ट में 3 कंट्रीज है FATF की, ठीक है, नॉर्थ कोरिया, ईरान एंड म्यांमार, ठीक है. हाँ, 1989 में फॉर्म हुआ था, राइट. Okay, let's move on to the next article. On the first page, Mr. M.K. Stalin, the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, holds talks with other CMs regarding presidential reference. Can you please tell me which article is being talked about here? Which article of the Indian Constitution is being talked about when I'm talking about presidential reference? Anyone? Yes, देखो, 143, yes, Priyanshi got right. 143 is for presidential reference. हाँ, कुछ लोग 200 201 बता रहे हैं, वो ठीक है 201, but presidential reference is for 143, ठीक है. Although 201 and 200 was also in the news, but here we are talking about presidential reference. If I'm asking, the answer is 143 talks about presidential reference. Now, what actually happened was, under 143, president can ask advice from the Supreme Court. ठीक है, है ना? And of course, president works on the advice of Council of Ministers, है ना, headed by Prime Minister. So, indirectly, this is of course from Council of Ministers, but officially, the president asks advice on any matter under 143. And generally, when such matter is being asked, minimum 5 judge bench is set up. Okay? Because generally it is of constitutional matter and all. So I hope you are aware, Article 145 says that if there is anything which requires a constitutional interpretation, minimum 5 judge bench should be there. Okay? That is what you should be knowing about. Now, so basically, हुआ क्या था? What was the case? I hope you all are aware. We have discussed it so many times. पहले मैं ये दिखा दूं. देखो, this is Article 200. We had discussed it also. That what happened was that the Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu passed the bill. It went to the governor. And governor was not signing it, or he sent it back. Then Legislative Assembly again sent the bill back. Then the governor sent it for presidential reference, presidential signature. Now, this was not considered as like criticized by many because actually it says here in Article 200 that if the House again passes the bill, then the governor should not withhold the assent. Means indirectly it is signaling that you have to sign it if the Legislative Assembly has again sent it back. But then the matter went to the Supreme Court, etc. These things happen, and the Supreme Court actually passed an order abolishing pocket veto. Pocket veto, तो इसमें ना pocket veto नहीं है. Pocket veto means basically under Article 200 there is no deadline mentioned. That if a Legislative Assembly passes the bill, then the governor should sign it within 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. There is no such thing mentioned. Okay. So what happened was, so it means for all practical purpose, governors and president had pocket veto. Pocket veto means they will not do anything. If the bill comes, they will not reject it, neither send it back, nor send it to president, nor sign it or reject it. Kuch nahi karenge. That's called as sitting on the bill. So the Supreme Court inserted something anew in the judgment, and it was criticized also. So there are two aspects. One aspect is that if there is a pocket veto exercised by the governor, then of course the idea of democratic institution like Legislative Assembly or Parliament gets defeated, because these are directly elected by people. And governor, on the other hand, is appointed and not even elected. At least president is indirectly elected, but in case of governor, there is no election. Criticism kya hua tha? The criticism of the judgment was that this is constitutional interpretation, and it was done by a 2-judge bench of Supreme Court. That if Supreme Court inserted something new in the constitution, like indirectly you can say, then it should have been done by a larger bench because it is a constitutional interpretation under 145. ठीक है, तो ये सब क्रिटिसाइज वगैरह किया गया था, ये सब काफी न्यूज में था. तो अब इसको क्लैरिफिकेशन के लिए प्रेसिडेंट ने एडवाइस मांगा है, प्रेसिडेंशियल रेफरेंस इसको कहते हैं 143 के अंदर. इन रेयर मूव बिकॉज 145 वेरी रेयरली यूज किया जाता है ना, that whether the judiciary can impose any timeline on the president and the governors. Okay, like article 200 or 201 है ना. 201 में bill reserved for president by governor for presidential assent. 200 is related with governor है ना, approving the bills. तो यही पूछा गया कि क्या इसमें टाइम लिमिट किया सकता है. अब now since it is a presidential reference has happened, most likely the Supreme Court will set up a larger bench. At least a 5-judge bench will be set up in this regard. ठीक है, so let's see है ना. तो ये है इसमें. अब इसमें ये if you have read मैं इंडियन एक्सप्रेस के आर्टिकल पढ़ रहा था, it was talking about it है ना, वही जो 3 month वाला डेडलाइन फिक्स कर दिया है ना, it was passed by 2-judge bench है ना. That is what it was in the news, and in fact signed all the bills and all की सारा बिल पास हो गया. So basically 143 के बारे में थोड़ा सा जान लो कि it was originally given even in Government of India Act 1935 है ना, और फेडरल कोर्ट होता था which later became Supreme Court of India है ना. That is what you should be knowing it. लिखा है ना 145 clause 3 requires a matter related with constitutional interpretation requires at least 5-judge bench. ठीक है, ठीक है. तो these are advisory in nature. इसको कहते हैं, आपने सुना होगा advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Have you heard this? यही होता है advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court 143. So the advice है ना. Can Supreme Court decline it? Yes, it can. There are 2 occasions where the Supreme Court has not answered also in the past. Generally 15 ऐसे occasion हुए roughly in since 1950. There are 15 occasions where the president has asked for such advices. जैसे I have taught, मैंने एक क्लास लिया था ये वाला. Have you watched this class? How many of you have watched this? Here I have discussed about first judge's case, second judge's case, third judge's case, fourth judge's case. ठीक है. This is about appointment of collegium system. This is very, very, very important. इसमें से कोई एक जो था, I think one of them was, if it is second or third, दोनों में से कोई एक जो था वो presidential reference था. ठीक है, आप एक बार चेक करें ना. 1998, I think third one was presidential reference था कोई under 143. ठीक है, इसको देख लीजिए अगर आपने नहीं देखा तो, because this is very, very important. It talks about appointment of Supreme Court judges because it always remains in the news है ना. High Court judge appointment, Supreme Court judge appointment, collegium and all. So please go and watch it. This is very, very, very important. Okay, yes. Sir, but the court did cite they basically implemented 2016 guidelines, so why is there a need for bigger bench? Okay. हाँ, देखो होता क्या है, we'll come to that article also. The article which is talking about कि होम मिनिस्ट्री ने यह कहा था, अपना एडवाइस अपने हिसाब से रूल बनाया था. They had made their rules that we would be following this, that within 3 months the governors and the president should approve that. ठीक है, ये गवर्नमेंट का अपना रूल था and government ही एडवाइस देती है ना president को and all. Now the question is, if the government has already made a rule, ठीक है, then why there was a need for a 5-judge bench? वही कह रहा हूँ, there are many arguments and disarguments. ठीक है, so those who have criticized it, they have said कि pocket veto तो था नहीं mentioned, and if you are adding a new thing, then at least 5-judge bench should be there. Some people say कि already is mentioned MHA rules में. We'll come to MHA rules. Last में the Hindu newspaper के last के कुछ pages में ये discussion है. So today also we will discuss that. ठीक है. So there are different opinions. Like I don't want to give any opinion कि which version is right. ठीक है. So different people have different version. Some people saying कि the judiciary has done right. Some people are saying कि no, it is judicial activism or judicial overreach. Judiciary has crossed the limit. तो ये अपना अपना ओपिनियन होता है, ठीक है, लोगों का. खैर, आपको फैक्ट्स कॉन्सेप्ट्स पता होना चाहिए कि वन प्रेसिडेंशियल रेफरेंस कहा था 143. इज इट एडवाइस? कैन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट से नो टू द एडवाइस? यस, सुप्रीम कोर्ट कैन मे नॉट गिव द एडवाइस. ऐसा भी हो सकता है. दीज आर नॉन बाइंडिंग एडवाइस है ना. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स यू शुड नो इट है ना. इस पर कैन डिक्लाइन? यस, इट कैन डिक्लाइन है ना. सो दीज आर द थिंग्स. इसमें और कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट है. I'm just saying seeing if there is anything important that needs to be discussed. ये तो 3 month वाला हो गया है ना. Okay, let's move on to the editorials. the new normal after Pahalgam, India's response. So Mr. Rakesh Sood, he has earlier served as an IFS officer, and a foreign diplomat. So he's talking about this operation Sindoor is on pause. Okay, and we have seen ceasefire, etc. The countries to DGMOs have talked. Please tell me DGMO is which rank officer? I have discussed. मैंने ये भी बताया था इस क्लास में that whenever there is a ceasefire talks, it is done by Director General Military Operations. So a Director General Military Operation of India will talk to Director General Military Operation of Pakistan. Like this is the talk happened. आपने देखा होगा कि DGM when Foreign Secretary was talking about ceasefire, he has said that DGMO of Pakistan called DGMO of India and decided to have ceasefire. DGMO is which rank officer? मैंने इस क्लास से बताया था INS विक्रांत वाले क्लास में. Please watch it. This one. हाँ, Lieutenant General. Yes, Priyanshi and Adrija both are right. So मैंने बताया भी था कि these are 5-star rank officer. तो ये तो बहुत कम बनते हैं, है ना? Very rarely it happens. And I had told you that these are actually the chiefs. Current chief यहाँ पर है. और उनके एक रैंक नीचे होते हैं वाइस एडमायरल, लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल और एयर मार्शल. तो डीजीएमओ यहाँ होते हैं डायरेक्टर जनरल मिलिट्री ऑपरेशंस. एयर मार्शल होते हैं डायरेक्टर जनरल, वन ऑफ द एयर मार्शल इज डायरेक्टर जनरल एयर ऑपरेशन. वाइस एडमायरल इज डीजीएनओ डायरेक्टर जनरल नेवल ऑपरेशंस. इन तीनों ने प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस भी किया था, इफ यू हैव सीन, है ना? वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. सो लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल रैंक ऑफिसर इज देयर. तो ये बता रहे हैं कि डीजीएमओ टॉक्स हैपन इन ऑल एटसेट्रा फिर de-escalation वगैरह ये सब बता रहे हैं. ठीक है. Then he's talking about surgical strikes which happened in 2016 and all, across LOC. तो year पूछ सकते हैं कि when did we surgical strike we have done in the past, when, कब किया था. ठीक है. So ये सब आप लोगों को पता होना चाहिए. These are the things that can be asked. After Pahalgam, etc., it was clear that Indian government would give a response. Only question was when, in what manner. ठीक है. Baghatari border was closed. ये border पूछ सकते हैं. This was closed, switching of trade, etc. है ना? Indus Water Treaty मैंने बता दिया. I've taken a class on Indus Water Treaty. है ना? You can search this. You will get to know about Indus Water Treaty, where we have discussed about that. है ना? जब cancel हुआ था treaty, तो उसका when after Pahalgam terrorist attack, Indian government cancelled this, and after that also Govind sir ने वीडियो बनाया था. ये वाली क्लास देखो, ये वाली क्लास में अब मंडे टू थर्सडे को 6 PM पे ले रहा था, बट दिस विल हैपन फ्रॉम मंडे टू वेडनेसडे. अब क्लास होगी 8 PM पर, ये वाली इस टाइप की जो टॉपिक बेस्ड होती है. ठीक है. इस तरह की मैंने क्लास पहले भी ली है, तो जो मैं आपको दिखाते जा रहा हूँ, हाईलाइट कर रहा हूँ, प्लीज वॉच दैट. ऑपरेशन केलर जो है अभी हुआ है, वेयर एक्चुअली विद इन आवर ओन कंट्री, wherever there is anti-terrorist operation, you can say, in Kashmir region and all. That is operation killer. ठीक है. ये हो गया. This we are done. है ना? इसमें और कुछ if there is anything important that needs to be discussed from academic point of view, मैं देख रहा हूँ. तो ये सब बता रहे हैं कि 7th May operation Sundar happened. DGM of Pakistan came and gave information about 9 location attack, etc. Then they have said, they claim that they have shot down Indian planes, etc. These things were in the news. Then Pakistan claiming success, they had claimed success. तो ये सब कोई खास बात तो है नहीं जो नॉलेज के लायक है. Let me see. हाँ, ये सब आपको पता होना चाहिए. स्कैल्प, ब्रह्मोस, है ना, हैमर, स्पेशली मेज और स्पाइस भी यूज हुआ था, बट इसके लिए मैंने क्लास लिया था. देखो, फर्स्ट सब्सक्राइब टू द चैनल, गो टू द लाइव सेक्शन. एक ये वाला देख लेना, ये वाला देख लेना, दिस वन. लाइव सेक्शन में जाओगे ना, here I have discussed about S-400 Rafale jets, Scarp missile, Harab drones, है ना. ये दोनों आप जरूर देख लीजिएगा. ठीक है. तो इसी की बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर. ठीक है, कि ये सब हम लोगों ने यूज किया. Then there are military bases कहाँ पे, उधमपुर, पठानकोट, आदमपुर, भुज. आदमपुर में मोदी जी गए थे after the operation Sindoor was paused or ceasefire happened. आदमपुर में, है ना, he had gone there. भुज में अभी डिफेंस मिनिस्टर गए थे गुजरात में. आदमपुर I think is in पंजाब. ठीक है, that's also air force station. ठीक है. So ये सब आपको पता होना चाहिए. Okay, है ना. ये हो गया done. Then of course, हाँ, ये एक news आई थी. This was also a little surprising. See what happened was, I think one day before ceasefire, as far as I could remember, Vice President of USA had said this: कि US will not intervene in the conflict between Pakistan and India. ये कहा था कि we are not much concerned about it. And next day we have seen this tweet. Next day या next to next day ऐसा ही कुछ हुआ था. And देखो ये 7 या 8 का है ना, देख लेना. And next day या next to next day, Donald Trump tweeted that yes, I have done ceasefire, etc. After long night talks by US, etc. And India and Pakistan have announced the ceasefire, etc. Now, please tell me, in which agreement India and Pakistan decided that whenever there is anything dispute or any related thing, we will solve bilaterally, and we will not allow any third party interference? Which agreement? Very very important. इस पर मैंने क्लास लिया. Yes, Simla agreement. Again, I'm saying तो आपको करना क्या है, आप लाइव सेक्शन पे जाना, इस पे नीचे जाते जाना, एक वीडियो मिलेगा, सिमला अग्रीमेंट, ग्रीन कलर का थंबनेल है, सिमला अग्रीमेंट आई हैव रिटन, आई हैव टेकन अ क्लास ऑन दैट. ठीक है, जैसे ये दोनों है ना, वैसे एक सिमला अग्रीमेंट करके 1972. Here we had talked, like there was crystal clear talks that if there is any dispute regarding India and Pakistan, whether it's a Kashmir border issue, LOC, LAC, etc., ceasefire, all will be done bilaterally. We will not allow any third party interference. So जब ये सब न्यूज आए, डोनाल्ड ट्रम्प is saying, he has said, I think time and again also, that he is claiming that he is the one who has actually brokered the deal, etc., etc. So यही बात सिमला अग्रीमेंट अक्सर बात में आ रही थी, ठीक है, और sometimes called a Shimla agreement, ठीक है. So that is why you should be knowing it. नहीं, इंडस वाटर ट्रीटी को वर्ल्ड बैंक ने मीडिएट कराया था. सिमला अग्रीमेंट में आई डोंट थिंक देयर वाज एनी मीडिएटर. फाइन, ये हो गया है ना. सो दैट इज व्हाट इज बीइंग टॉक्ड अबाउट. ऑपरेशन पराक्रम, बालाकोट 2019, इसमें कुछ देयर इज एनीथिंग दैट नीड्स टू बी डिस्कस्ड. हाँ, बालाकोट स्ट्राइक्स याद रखते थे, 2019 में हुआ था. आई होप यू आर अवेयर ऑफ दैट, है ना. एंड इसमें 2016 में सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक्स वी डिड. सो दीस आर द टर्म्स यू शुड नो. हो सकता है ऐसा पूछ ले कि व्हेन डिड, जिस पास वाला पूछ लेते हैं कि सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक्स कब हुआ था, है ना, बालाकोट स्ट्राइक कब हुआ था, एटसेट्रा. सो दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड नो, है ना. इंडिया टॉक्ड अबाउट दैट वी विल नॉट टॉलरेट एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ न्यूक्लियर ब्लैकमेल, एटसेट्रा. ओके, देन इसमें देखता हूं, ठीक है. हाँ, he talked about, PM Modi talked about that this is a new normal, है ना, will be a credible deterrence against future terrorist attack. ठीक है, I think we are done with that. और इसमें और कुछ खास नहीं है. Presidential reference we have already done. ठीक है, तो ये मैंने आपको बता दिया 143 के अंदर. This is an advice, an opinion asked by the President of India, that the President of India is asking clarification, that please clarify whether there is a timeline set for both governor and president. We need more clarification in this regard. So most likely the Supreme Court will set up a larger bench. This is what I guess. Okay, and I have already discussed about the judgment, the previous judgment regarding Tamil Nadu. Now, अब एक आर्टिकल, ingredient to turn around nutrition outcomes. ठीक है, तो अब न्यूट्रिशन से इतना डिटेल नहीं जानने, आपको कुछ स्कीम्स पता होना चाहिए, जैसे पीएम पोषण अभियान, है ना, पीएम ओवरआर्चिंग स्कीम फॉर होलिस्टिक नरिशमेंट, है ना. दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग अबाउट. अब जैसे कोई सब फैक्ट्स नहीं याद रखना है, लेकिन ये पता होना चाहिए, व्हाट इज एनीमिया, इट इज कॉज्ड बाय व्हिच, द डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ व्हाट कॉजेस एनीमिया. बताओ तो, एनीमिया क्या चीज की कमी से होता है? एनीवन? आयरन. यस. अच्छा, आपको पता है रफली 57% of women age 15 to 49 are anemic. Actually, आप ऐसा समझ लो, आधी से ज्यादा महिला जो इंडिया में है ना, 15 to 49 is actually reproductive age कह सकते हो. एटलीस्ट 18 प्लस तो अलाउड है. अगर 18 से 49 कह लो तो ऑफ कोर्स reproductive age माना जाता है, बट 15 से भी बहुत सारे विलेज एरियाज में देयर आर मैरिजेस दैट आर हैपनिंग. सो दिस इज द reproductive age. और इसीलिए आपने देखा होगा, जो चाहे तो प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन होती है या जो चाइल्ड होता है, जो लेस देन 5 years ऑफ चाइल्ड, अंडर 5 चाइल्ड, इंडिया में बहुत केसेस में देखा गया कि एनीमिया की प्रॉब्लम है, दैट एनीमिक है, डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ आयरन इज देयर, है ना. फिर देखो, वुमेन आर मोर लाइकली टू बी malnourished than men, ऑफ कोर्स, इसलिए कि चाइल्ड बर्थ के रीजन, वन ऑफ द रीजन इज, है ना, एंड देयर आर अदर इश्यूज आल्सो. ठीक है, बिकॉज़ दैट इज व्हाट इज बीइंग टॉक्ड अबाउट हियर. ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे स्कीम है, सक्षम आंगनवाड़ी पोषण अभियान है टू इंक्रीज न्यूट्रिशन, है ना. जैसे प्रिवेलेंस ऑफ एनीमिया भी बहुत अच्छा खासा, रफली अराउंड, अब ऐसे याद रख सकते हो, रफली अराउंड 50% वुमेन आर स्टिल इन द रिप्रोडक्टिव एज आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम दिस एनीमिया एंड ऑल. सो दीस आर द थिंग्स. इतना फैक्ट्स वगैरह नहीं पूछते हैं, ठीक है, कि आप एक फैक्ट्स बताओ एटसेट्रा. तो आई डोंट थिंक इतना डिटेल जानना होगा परसेंटेज एंड ऑल. बट एक रफ आइडिया होना चाहिए। एक और स्कीम है ना, जिसको पीएम पोषण अभियान कहते हैं, मिड डे मील स्कीम। आपने इसका नाम सुना है? जैसे गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में होता है, आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव सीन इट, कि गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में दोपहर में खाना दिया जाता है बच्चों को। स्पेशल आई मीन द वेरी आइडिया इज, तो एक्चुअली क्या होता है ना, वन ऑफ द रीजन फॉर चाइल्ड लेबर क्या होता है, जो गरीब घर के बच्चे हैं उनको कह दिया जाता है, पेरेंट्स व्हाट द पेरेंट्स से कि गो एंड वर्क एंड यू अर्न मनी एंड यू ईट फ्रॉम दैट, ठीक है, व्हाटएवर यू आर अर्निंग फ्रॉम दैट लेबर। तो होता क्या है कि अब बच्चा स्कूल थोड़ी जाएगा, अपना गरीब घर गया तो वो सोचेगा हम कमा लेते हैं, उसी में जो पैसे खाएंगे वो उसे हम खाना खा लेंगे। सो द आइडिया इज, इफ द मिड डे मील स्कीम इज प्रोवाइडेड, what will happen is the child will get attracted to school, इसी बहाने कि अच्छा काम नहीं करना होगा, हमको खाना तो मिल जाएगा। ओके, दैट इज वन थिंग, दिस वाज इनिशिएटेड इन तमिलनाडु फर्स्ट, ठीक है, ये बहुत अच्छी स्कीम थी, इसको इनफैक्ट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 2002 वगैरह में प्रेज किया था, एंड लेटर ऑन इट वाज इंप्लीमेंटेड इन एंटायर इंडिया। इट वाज इनिशिएटेड इन तमिलनाडु, स्टेट ऑफ तमिलनाडु। yes Krishi sir, they were right, huh? So that was a very great idea, whoever has given this concept, that okay, give the food so that they will get attracted to the school, they don't have to do child labor, believing that they will not get food, and if they will not work hard, then of course they will not get food. So okay, this is the way, come to the school, ठीक है, तो आप स्कूल आ जाओ और आपको खाना यहीं मिल जाएगा, ठीक है। तो दिस इज अ वे ऑफ अट्रैक्टिंग देम आल्सो। इसमें बाद में बहुत सारे स्टेट्स में क्या किया कि न्यूट्रिशनल फूड्स, तो कहीं किसी किसी स्टेट्स में आई थिंक एग वगैरह भी दिया था, अंडा वगैरह एंड अदर न्यूट्रिशनल फूड स्टफ। कमीशन आप देख लीजिएगा एक बार कौन सी कमीशन थी, देखो प्रपोज इन्होंने किया था, आइडिया प्रपोज, he was the president of justice party, ठीक है, दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड नो, है ना। तो ये पीएम पोषण इज एक्चुअली मिड डे मील, इसको पीएम पोषण कहते हैं। Now let's move on to another sorry news, which is actually about hooch tragedy. You understand, देखो ये टर्म कई बार आता है, hooch tragedy, जहरीली शराब पीने से लोगों की मौत होती है तो उसको कहते हैं hooch tragedy। स्पूरियस लिकर, एक्चुअली बेसिकली क्या होता है, मीथेन मिला दिया जाता है, मिथेनॉल, सॉरी मिथेनॉल, है ना, मिथेनॉल इसको कहते हैं CH3OH, ठीक है। तो अगर इथेनॉल जनरली लोग कई बार पीते हैं ड्रग्स वैसे इसमें शराब वगैरह एक्सेट्रा में, अगर उसमें इथेनॉल मिला दिया जाएगा तो यू विल डाई। यस, so what will happen is, we had seen I think somewhere around 23 people died in the state of Punjab in Amritsar because of actually these things, spurious liquor and all। तो उसमें होता ये है कि कई बार a lot of places are there where liquor industries, liquor manufacturing, local industry, बहुत से होते हैं लोकल लेवल पर लिकर बनाते हैं। अब होता है क्या, चीप बनाते हैं, सस्ता, तो लोग खरीद लेते हैं पुअर क्वालिटी का, एंड मिथेनॉल मिला होता, लोग पीते हैं तो डेथ हो जाती है। सो दीज आर ऑफ कोर्स सीरियस थिंग्स, पीपल आर लूजिंग लाइफ, एंड दैट इज व्हाट। तो अगर आप देखोगे, वो सीइंग एन आर्टिकल ऑफ न्यू इंडियन एक्सप्रेस, उन्होंने ये लिखा लास्ट 5 इयर्स में 176 डेथ्स हुई है कुछ ट्रेजेडी से, वही मिथेनॉल मिला के डाल दिया और समथिंग लाइक दैट, और गलती से डाल दिया, डेलिबरेटली डाल दिया, वी डोंट नो एग्जैक्टली whether it was done deliberately or not, but yes, this is killing so many people and all without any reason, so people are dying, so of course this is a serious thing। Now I have one question, हाँ, एक टर्म होता है इंग्लिश में, उसको कहते हैं बूट लेगिंग। बूट लेगिंग होता है इलीगल ट्रेड ऑफ लिकर्स आर कॉल्ड एज बूट लेगिंग, ठीक है, ये सब टर्म पता होना चाहिए। Now please tell me, I think some states, Gujarat, Bihar, and I think there are some more states which have banned liquor drinking. So when they have banned it, they have implemented which DPSP? Which article of the DPSP? Which DPSP article बताना उसका, कोई बता सकते हैं? हाँ, ड्राई स्टेट है, यस, गुजरात एंड बिहार, एंड आई थिंक देयर आर सम मोर स्टेट्स, दो तो हमको पता है। Which article of DPSP? 48 नहीं, 47 is there, ठीक है, it's 47। Duty of the state to raise level of nutrition, standard of living, improve public health। तो public health है ना, state shall endeavor the कोशिश करें to bring about prohibition of consumption except for medicinal purpose। दवा के लिए हो तो अलग बात है, intoxicating drink of drugs which are injurious to health, ठीक है। तो देखो, अगर अब तुम देखोगे, एक तो है कि intoxicating drinks, तो जैसे लिकर बैन है, ये तो बैन है, जैसे गुजरात में बैन है, बिहार में बैन है। जहां तक ड्रग्स की बात है, वो तो हर जगह बैन है। देयर इज अ वी हैव लॉ नारकोटिक्स ड्रग्स एंड साइकोट्रोपिक सब्सटेंस एक्ट व्हिच इज बैन इन एंटायर इंडिया। बहुत सारे जो ड्रग्स के सब्सटेंस होते हैं, दे आर बैन्ड इन द एंटायर इंडिया, ठीक है। तो दैट इज व्हाट I went to Bihar. They were supplying liquor from petrol. Yes, it also happens. It is true that even if they are banned, there are. वही मैं कह रहा हूँ, bootlegging also happens in these places sometimes. Bootlegging का मतलब ये होता है कि illegal, even if it is banned in some state, still illegal supply of liquors do happen. That is what also happens. खैर ऑफिशियली लेकिन these two states में banned है. I think one एक आध दो और states है जिसमें. So this आपको पता होना चाहिए actually. So it's Article 47 that you should know. Okay. Now we were talking about this. तो ये काफी debatable topic था. Supreme Court's 3-month deadline came from the center's own guidelines. ठीक है, तो आर्टिकल आई थी पेज नंबर 10 में. हुआ ये था कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि भाई देखो, मतलब लोग कह रहे थे, पीपल वर क्रिटिसाइजिंग दैट लुक the Supreme Court has crossed the line. It is called as judicial overreach because the Supreme Court has unnecessarily interfered in the functioning of the president and the governor, etc. But जब न्यूज आई तो ये भी बात किया गई, सुप्रीम कोर्ट अप्रैल 8 जजमेंट मेड इट क्लियर दैट इट हैज merely adopted guidelines issued by Home Ministry through back-to-back office memorandum in 2016, setting 3 months timeline for president. यानी होम मिनिस्ट्री ने खुद ही ये अपनी तरफ से गाइडलाइन रखा था कि अगर कोई बिल जाएगा प्रेसिडेंट के पास तो वो 3 महीना के अंदर उनको काम मतलब अप्रूव करना या रिजेक्ट करना, जो भी करना, दे हैव टू डू इट इन the president is supposed to do it in 3 months. So that is what the Supreme Court had clarified, that we are just adopting that and writing it in the judgment. We deem it appropriate to adopt the timing that has been prescribed by Home Ministry itself in 2016. ठीक है, तो ये जस्टिस जेबी पारदीवाला ने कहा था. तो एक बात ये भी आ गई. Then people are saying, then why are you criticizing Supreme Court order? That this is just implementation. The Supreme Court is just writing it, whatever the Home Ministry had said. So one argument is this also. Yes, the Supreme Court argued that they were actually implementing what they have already, the Home Ministry, the government itself has said. तो अब इसमें मतलब there are opinions and disopinions कि ये 5 judge bench में जाना चाहिए था कि नहीं जाना चाहिए था. There are arguments and disarguments out there. So let us see. But advisory jurisdiction news में तो पूछा जा सकता है 143 is advisory jurisdiction. Can Supreme Court deny it? Yes, and it is just an advice. It is non-binding advice भी होता है, ठीक है, but generally accept कर लिया जाता है. If a Supreme Court gives an advisory opinion, these are generally accepted. And we are not going in that detail, but you should know. Okay. है ना. दो चीज और बताना चाहिए. सरकारी एंड पूंजी कमीशन also talked about these things, है ना. सरकारी कमीशन एंड पूंजी कमीशन is related with center state relations. ये कई बार न्यूज में आता है, ठीक है, कि which other following commission is related with center state relations. Okay. एक चीज और लास्ट में थे. सेंटर सुप्रीम कोर्ट स्ट्राइक्स ऑन रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस. रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव या एक एक्स पोस्ट फैक्टो, दोनों सेम चीज होती है, या बैक डेट से. ऑल थ्री आर सेम थिंग. मतलब क्या होता है, देखो जैसे ऐसे मान लो फॉर एग्जांपल a company is started constructing something on a land and it has not got all the clearance of environment, but बाद में थोड़े दिन बाद it asks for the government, please give us environmental clearance, and government gives the environmental clearance from back date, पीछे से दे दिया कि चलो let's say for example today is 20th May 2025, I am giving environmental clearance from 1st January 2025, पीछे से हम आपको बैक डेट से दे रहे हैं environmental clearance. Like that, I'm just explaining it. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने वहां से मना कर दिया कि वहां से बैक डेट से आप एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस नहीं दे सकते. अगर आज दे रहे तो आज से इंप्लीमेंट होगा, ठीक है, बिकॉज देयर आर लॉट ऑफ केसेस वेयर कंपनीज एक्चुअली स्टार्ट डूइंग देयर वर्क, है ना, स्टार्ट डूइंग द इलीगल कंस्ट्रक्शन एटसेट्रा, एंड देन बाद में जाके गवर्नमेंट को कहती है ना कि आप मेरा एनवायरमेंटल क्लियरेंस दे दिए, समथिंग लाइक दैट. सो दिस विल, है ना, दैट इज व्हाट द सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज सेड, दैट यू कैन नॉट put it from back date and all. Now recently we have seen Justice Bela Trivedi. She has actually, for all practical purpose, she has retired. She'll be retiring on 9th June, but yesterday was her last working day. Okay, so she has retired, and the thing was the Supreme Court Bar Association and Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association, they did not give farewell to Justice Bela Trivedi. तो ये काफी न्यूज में था. CJI was not happy कि आप फेयरवेल तो दे दीजिए, क्यों नहीं फेयरवेल दिया, एक्सेट्रा एंड ऑल. सो देयर आर सम रीजंस, तो वी आर नॉट गोइंग इन दैट डिटेल. फिर आपको ये पता होना चाहिए हाउ द अपॉइंटमेंट प्रोसेस ऑफ द जजेस हैपन इन इंडिया. सो जस्ट सर्च दिस ऑन YouTube, you will get this. Please go and watch it. This is very important. So I'm ending this class here. Thank you everyone. tomorrow I'll be meeting you at 3 p.m. with weekly revision series. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.